We'll be talking about the petition in a second, how the petition was launched to strip Harry and Meghan of their titles. We'll talk about that in a second, but let me actually play this one first.
There was a YouGov poll that was released on royal family favourability. And obviously, they're not elected, they're not politicians, so we don't have elections to find out who is the most popular. So it's very hard to know.
Yeah.
But once again, William and Catherine remain Britain's favourite royals, closely followed by the King.
Yeah.
The King, 6 in 10 have a positive opinion of King Charles, but William and Catherine were way ahead. But the interesting thing is the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, her favourability was just 20%. This is the lowest level since she arrived on the scene when YouGov first did the polls in 2017. So the Instagram curated images, as ever, jam, doesn't seem to be working, Samara.
No, I mean, I think one of the greatest pull factors of the royal family is the mystery behind it all, the fact that people don't know a lot of what goes on behind closed doors. And that's where Meghan's got it all wrong, because she's broadcast her entire life out to us, and we've actually judged it, and we've said that's kind of bland and boring and actually quite sad, to be honest, especially when we saw that photo of Harry this week, but also we've seen so many other sort of disastrous platitudes that are very empty on her podcast. I mean, we've seen the real her, and we don't like it. Sometimes it's better to just kind of be a little bit more private. But privacy is not in her vocabulary. It's not something that she's very familiar with, and I think that's actually been her problem.
This is such a great point, guys. Meghan Markle, she was very private, as we know, especially in the beginning of the marriage with Harry. And then slowly over time, she wanted to reveal herself more and more. In the beginning, if you also take a look at her popularity, in the beginning, yeah, she was a little bit popular, thanks to her marriage to the monarchy. And so the popularity was like this, right? And her, okay, let me put this. So the popularity was this, and she did not reveal much like this. So they're on the equilibrium, right, in terms of the relationship between the two. But as she started to reveal herself more, tell us more, her popularity goes down, 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 down. And now, like, nobody likes her. I mean, this is so pathetic, Meghan Markle. I mean, she should know more about how popularity works. The bottom line is the more people know about her, the less popular she becomes.
I always like pitting the Duchess of Sussex against the Princess of Wales. It's not always helpful, but Catherine's top. Okay, Catherine and William are always top of this poll. This week, Princess of Wales has been very visible. We had the video. I'm calling it Kate Outdoors, by the way. A woman for all seasons. But this is this video talking about nature is her sanctuary. It's one of the first of her 4 videos that she's going to do speaking about nature connected to the seasons. She's spoken in the past about how being outdoors in nature has helped with her cancer recovery. And we've also seen her, I was very lucky to be on this rota job, where she was at the British Fashion Council, and with some very fashionable people, by the way, some very young, up-and-coming fashion designers. But she stole the show. She was called a style icon by the winner of the award that she presented. What's she doing right?
Well, she were in Posh's.
Okay, well, she's doing right. Well, she's doing what Meghan is not doing. If you want to be popular, Meghan Markle could be a yardstick. You can just measure your popularity based on that. Now, with Catherine, the popularity, like, the more she reveals, right, the more she reveals herself. So this is revealing, and her popularity. So the more she reveals, the more popular she becomes. I have never seen any criticism of Princess of Wales, Catherine, at all. I mean, every single event, every single photo, every single video we have seen on social media or on mainstream media, I have never seen people criticizing her for faking it. Like, not faking it. I mean, I will not go that far. For sometimes, you know, people make so many other mistakes. When it comes to, you know, showing yourself to the public. It could be not a good occasion, it could be too much, it could be too little. But I've never seen any criticism like that about Princess of Wales Catherine. But with Meghan Markle, it's complete opposite. Let's actually play this video.
Now, royal insiders are claiming that Prince William is already making plans to sideline the Sussexes when he becomes king. Now, what's prompted Will to act, and could the Sussexes actually be banned from Will and Kate's coronation?
Right. Well, this has cropped up again, essentially, because a royal insider called Hugo Vickers has spoken out. He's spoken to sources directly inside the palace. And we knew this. We know that William has been furious about the Sussexes' antics. He's taken a much harder line than King Charles has, and we know that he was outraged about when he found out that Meghan's still using the HRH title recently. That really allegedly infuriated the Prince of Wales. And The theory is now that he will be taking steps from day dot, basically, when he becomes monarch. And the first step could be excluding them formally from the coronation.
I mean, this is confirmed already that Harry is not going to be invited for his coronation. Not at all. Not a a snowball chance in hell. Like, I mean, forget about it. Harry and Meghan, they will lose huge in terms of publicity when William becomes the king, because even though today we know that the king, King Charles, is not talking to him, not paying much attention to Harry. Nevertheless, Harry always brings up about his father, King Charles, and uses his name to climb in the social ladder, because he doesn't have anything that he could rely on. Like, he accomplished nothing, he achieved nothing except that whining all the time. But can you imagine when William will become the king, Harry talking about William, blaming his brother? I think that will be pathetic, and I don't think Harry will do that like he's doing right now with his father, blaming him for everything, right? But with Prince William, like, you're almost same age, I think 2 years apart. I mean, how can you blame another man for your failure? You are a man too, so you need to really man up, right? That's what they say. And face the world and make a name for yourself. Well, that is most likely not going to happen, because looks like the title is going to be stripped very, very soon. And according to this report, let's take a listen to what they're saying.
There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired hours after he lost his appeal for taxpayer-funded UK.
A royal disaster is brewing, and this time, Prince Harry may finally lose the one thing he clings to most, his title. The House of Lords, Britain's most prestigious legislative chamber, has launched a formal petition to strip Harry of the Duke of Sussex title. This isn't tabloid gossip. This is real, official, parliamentary, and it has Harry reportedly seething with rage.
We'll see King Charles do this because he's not confrontational. I don't think that he likes the fact that he's been accused of racism towards his grandchildren in Omid Scobie's book. So I think he's going to continue to tiptoe around these.
For a man who traded duty for Hollywood lights, the Crown is preparing to slam the door permanently.
This is the quickest way.
Well, I don't know, like as Kinsey Schofield suggested, that it is going to be really the king to take the title away from them. Not the king, sorry, the king in waiting, which is Prince William, and not King Charles. I think that would be much of a plausible theory and possibility than to say that right now Charles is working on it, or the House of Lords, they have launched a major petition to strip off all Harry's royal title. I mean, they can launch petition, but what I understand is that according to the British law, you have to go to the Parliament and bring in a motion bill to strip those titles from any royal family members. It is not the king, even though he can definitely help with the process, but when it comes to the final decision, it has to be the king who will have to launch that kind of application or removal request of title to the Parliament from Prince Harry.
Dive into this unprecedented move against the most disgraced royal of the modern age. Insiders say Harry is seething with rage. Unable to contain his fury as the institution he once abandoned is now poised to sever one of his last remaining royal ties. This isn't just a symbolic rebuke. It's a catastrophic unraveling of any residual legitimacy Harry clung to, and Britain's most powerful legislative body is leading the charge.
But Kinsey, you recently interviewed a friend of the royal family, Hugo Vickers, who revealed the late Queen was so fearful of Harry and Meghan that she wouldn't want to be alone with them. Let's just take...
The petition was introduced by a coalition of lords within the UK Parliament, notably senior Conservative peers and crossbench members.
I do, however, think, though, it is really right now the best time to take those titles away because of the popularity, public opinion. It is so overwhelming right now that there is hardly anyone in UK who would bother saying anything against the monarchy if they make a decision to strip Harry of those titles. In fact, it will be quite the opposite. Most of the people will be like, yeah, this is the right thing to do, and they're going to cheer the monarchy, trust me, in the streets. Just like, you know, how Meghan described about the situation in South Africa when Nelson Mandela was freed. She said this is how people on the street cheered for her when she married to the royal family. Unbelievable. Like, obviously all fake news and absolute lunacy. This is something that the monarchy should be looking into right now, because they will get public backing 100%. And I don't doubt that for a second. So let's take a listen at this one.
Rocking the world of entertainment and royalty over the past 48 hours. What on earth is going on with Brexit? That's how The Sun branded it, a follow-up to Megxit, which was obviously the phrase they came up with on my story when they left the royal family back in January 2020. But Brexit is specifically in relation to the fact that Meghan and Harry seem in some way, Angela, to be advising Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz, or at least encouraging them over their split from the Beckham family as a result of this toxic relationship. And of course, we'd been saying even before we knew that these two were in touch with each other, that there are these shocking parallels between what Nicola Peltz has done to the Beckham family and what Meghan Markle did to the royal family. And I think there's comparables between Harry and Brooklyn too. Both sort of stupid guys. Both guys have been overshadowed by their dad, don't really have a purpose in life, don't have a massive talent. And then this woman comes in and claims that she can change their life. That's sort of, I guess, the setup of where we're at. But then, Angela, why this was so fascinating is, of course, earlier in the week, we spoke about it, didn't we? We saw Catherine wearing this Victoria Beckham pantsuit, wearing a pantsuit so much better than Meghan Markle ever did at the Time 100 gala. And Kensington Palace actually did brief off the record, Angela, that this was some type of nod to Victoria Beckham, some sort of support of Victoria Beckham. Catherine was saying, we know what you're going through. We support you in this family fallout. So that's the setup, Angela. What do you make of this story and what's really going on?
Well, I think the news is already out there. Brexit already happened. And Nicola, she wants her husband, herself, to be out of the Beckham family. This is the problem with people who never accomplish anything in their life. People who have nothing to offer, people who have no talent. This is why you need to be careful about those family members who doesn't do anything. I mean, you need to really advise them and encourage them and motivate them and pay attention to them, that they need to really stand on their own feet instead of being a couch potato like Harry had always been, except that maybe in some occasions he would go to Iraq or Afghanistan for military training, but then he will fail. He never got his helicopter license. He was, in that sense, I think, not being paid attention to. I don't know what William told him, advised him when he was not accomplishing anything. He didn't get his piloting license. I mean, if I were William, I would have had a talk with Harry that you really need to get your life together. You're failing in everything. And when you have a family member who's failing, is not really doing anything with his life, then what he will do is bring more and more tragedy and disaster and make everybody else's life miserable and stressful. I think this is something that happens in every family. There is a Harry, there is a Nicola. I think, let's take a listen to what Angela Levin is saying.
Well, what I make of it is that Meghan saw it as a wonderful opportunity for her to get involved in this sort of thing.
Yeah.
That she could actually be in the front pages a bit longer, which has happened. She can start earning money. Perhaps she'll explain to young girls how to cope with nasty families. You know, that would be quite helpful. And I think, except that she's done a lot of messing around, that she won't actually do it. But they are so different, actually, because what they've got in common is they've got masses of money, right? Masses of money. But Nicola has got a warm family who she loves, and brothers and sisters who she's close to, whereas Meghan hasn't. And so she can't turn to anyone unless it's her mother.
Yeah, I mean, even with Nicola, Meghan is much, much worse than her. So, Nicola, you really need to cut ties with Meghan Markle, because otherwise you will be Markled very, very soon and people are not going to like you at all. But that's the irony of it. The moment you follow Meghan Markle in any way, shape or form, you will be Markled, you will be unpopular, and your life will become a complete mess, a complete disaster. Eva, Angela, Bonnie, thank you guys. Joey, Edward, Emma Doll. See you in the next video. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day. Take care.